Welcome back, everyone. I know it's been forever. How was the apocalypse for everyone else? Back with another episode of Let's Talk. I am Laughingboy, and I'm again here with...
Hello, I'm MasaeAnela, and I'm sorry, but it's kind of funny to me to hear you say it's been forever because we just finished recording the other one like 2 minutes ago.
Don't worry about it. It's called movie/YouTube magic.
Immersion broken.
How do I make things slower? Alright, so on the last episode, we continued our talk on the history of MasaeAnela, and we're going to finish that up today and potentially move on to sort of the how-to bits and pieces. So, if you're ready, I'll start.
I'm all good.
Okay. So, for a brand new subscriber, there's quite a lot of, maybe in-jokes, catchphrases, some background information, Volvagia fights on an LP that can get kind of tough to keep up with, especially for someone who's been Let's Playing for as long as you have, or they may just have a lot of shit to catch up with.
Right.
Are there any Let's Play series specifically that you would recommend to maybe a new subscriber in order to feel caught up?
That's hard to say because honestly, the way that I try to create all of my series is that they're all standalone. I don't do a whole lot of self-references or callbacks. There might be one here and there, but usually I try to keep it very vague and very oh, if you caught it, then you clearly have watched it. But if you didn't catch it, then you wouldn't have understood it anyway. So just move on along. So I don't know if I'd really say that there's anything that I'd say to watch immediately right off the bat. If anything, probably something probably a game that I knew a lot about, like Ocarina of Time 3D. Ha 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 ha. I'm bringing that up a lot.
Master Quest.
Yeah. At the same time, maybe something that I also didn't know a whole lot about, like the Donkey Kong series, both of them that I did. And I feel like those two specifically give you a good picture of what I tend to do on the channel, both in terms of when I know what I'm doing and when I have no freaking clue and everything's burning.
I mean, that's a good high and low, I think.
Which one's high and which one's low?
That's up to you, the viewer. Let me look at my next question. I know especially you do, but let's talk about Twitch for a second.
Okay.
So you do have a Twitch channel, right?
Yes.
So what got you turned on to live stream? What? Why do you do it? What got you interested in live streaming?
I started doing streaming as a special event sort of deal way back in the day when Twitch was Justin TV and when I actually used livestream.com or whatever. You know, that dead site now that has no support.
You mean
that
Hitbox?
I got banned from?
Wait, what?
Yeah, I got banned from that site. I still don't know why.
Is it story time?
No, I have no idea what happened. I was just in the middle of a stream once, celebrating some milestone, and then whoops, everything came crashing down, and I was banned. I had no idea why.
You're done.
Yep. They just kicked me out for no reason. Don't remember why. Had no idea in the first place. And then that was when I moved to Justin TV, which eventually became Twitch.
Okay.
But yeah, initially it wasn't so much that I was into streaming itself. It was just a thank you stream for various milestones.
Okay. And then that just kind of grew into more regular stuff.
Yeah, eventually.
So I guess that sort of answers my next question. Why Twitch instead of maybe YouTube gaming or the YouTube live stream option?
Well, there is a separate reason for that, actually. I just, I do this goes a little bit beyond just the gaming stuff and the YouTube stuff, but I always try to have as many outlets as I can for different things that I'm working on. Like I do that a lot with my art. Like I'll have my art on various different websites, and like it's all the same content. Like I have my art on DeviantArt, I have my art on Tumblr. I'm kind of sort of getting into Instagram, though I don't know if I'm going to stick with that yet.
Right.
And it's all the same art. I'm basically re-uploading in different places, but I like to have that reach and that just a general cover of various different outlets. And I feel like having a Twitch channel along with a YouTube channel kind of gives me something to fall back on a little bit. If YouTube is YouTube and burns. Or vice versa, if Twitch is Twitch and somehow burns. It's just, I don't like investing 100% of myself into any one location.
I think that's a really safe way to play it. And I certainly understand. I mean, given the fact that especially nowadays, you can technically operate your Twitch channel as a YouTube channel and vice versa.
Yeah, technically.
I mean, I'm not going to, but technically.
Maybe someday.
Yeah. But I think it's, I guess, important definitely not to keep all your eggs in one basket, especially since I think it makes it difficult for viewers to kind of keep track of everything.
Yeah.
So do you have, I guess, would you say you stream on a consistent schedule?
No. No.
Hey, that was easy.
Just right out the bat. No.
No.
I know a lot of people do the consistent streaming schedule thing, and all the more power to them. Honestly, I admire that, and I give them so much credit for being able to keep up with a consistent schedule. But for me, it's my real life schedule is already so chaotic, what with my family and keeping up with housework and trying to keep on top of a YouTube channel on top of that and just all these other things. And it's like, I don't want to promise a specific time every week, especially multiple times a week, and then just not be able to keep up with it. That's my number one concern with Twitch is broken promises and not being able to go live when I say I'm going to go live or just anything like that. And even beyond that, there's also the emotional aspect of Twitch where it's live. If you are in a piss poor mood, then everyone's going to know. You're going to sound really bitter, and I'm going to have gross sniffling into the microphone like, yeah, some bad things happen, guys, you know? And I wouldn't want to put anyone through that, much less myself. So I've kind of adopted a as I'm ready sort of deal. I'll let people know maybe a couple hours ahead of time when I feel okay about streaming. And sometimes that can be twice a week. Sometimes that can be 3 times a week. Sometimes it can be once a week. It all just depends on how I'm feeling and what the individual days feel like. And so far, it might not be the best in the way of gaining a consistent growth. Mm-hmm. But it's worked out in the way of making sure that every single stream feels like a fun time, and I'm really down to hang out and talk with the people who are able to make it.
Are you partnered?
Yes.
Okay. What was the process like to getting partnered on Twitch?
Well, they want you to stream a certain amount. I can't remember the exact stipulations, but I sent in a request once pretty early on. I hadn't really gotten into the swing of Twitch yet at that point. I was just kind of feeling my way around and starting to learn. And I guess I hadn't been at it for long enough for them because they pretty much promptly was like, nah, fam, we're good. You keep doing you. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Fast forward a year, I decided that I was actually going to get serious about it and really try to make Twitch work. And I sat down, and I think that was the most that I've ever streamed over the period of like a month. I think I stream like 3 or 4 times a week, and I was like really pushing for it. And then after that, I sent in a request, and then that time around they were like, "Hey, you're doing good. Okay, you're in." And that was essentially it. Just an email thing.
Okay. Now, once you're partnered on Twitch, users can subscribe to your channel for at least $5 a month. I wrote just $5 a month. This question is already outdated. What kind of perks can one get for subscribing to your channel? Sell yourself.
Oh, well then, let me tell you this. Okay, seriously though, I try to keep it very light in the way of perks, because I understand that not a lot of people can spare the extra cash or like want to throw cash at a stream, and that's fine. I don't want people to feel like they're being left out because they can't subscribe or they don't want to subscribe. The most important thing to me, and I say this over and over and over again in my streams and just in general, that the subscription thing to me is just an extra. It's just a, hey, I like your stuff, I want to help out, and I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. I really, really do. But the most important thing to me is that people enjoy the stream. If they're hanging out, if they're lurking, if they're participating, if they're chatting or whatever, all that really matters to me is that the people watching have a good time. That's really all that I shoot for. But to try to make it worthwhile, the only things that I really offer to the people who do subscribe are the emotes, and that's built into Twitch itself. So It was really no skin off my nose to go and design some fun little emotes, draw them up, and then throw them out there. And it's like, hey, you get these cute little chibi Masaes that you can use wherever you want. Throw them on Discord. Do whatever it is that you feel like doing, you know?
Right.
And there's also the Discord server, which is more for the community more than for like me popping in. Like everyone has gotten to know each other, and it's such a really, really neat little bunch. They're called the Banana Bunch, and my Twitch has this banana thing going on. I don't know why, but yeah, it's basically just a little chat where people get together and they talk about various things, and it's not necessary at all to go in there and like to chat with everyone, because once the stream starts up, then you already have the stream chat, and that's free. That's 100% free. You go in there and it's just like you can talk with everyone. It's just that
it's definitely free.
Yeah. The subscription Discord is just an extra thing where you can probably get to know a few more people a little bit better, make some friends, you know.
Right. And having been there myself, it does actually, you can really see that community kind of grow. I especially see those names a lot in like comments or like Twitter replies and stuff like that. So it really did build up quite a community.
Yeah,
for your
they're
Discord.
Precious. I love them. They're so sweet and so nice and so supportive. I'm really, really thankful for everyone, honestly. And you're missed, by the way. Just putting that out there.
All right. I'll be back someday.
No pressure, man. No
like
pressure.
the evil villain in a cartoon show. I'll be back. So bits are also a thing. Users can donate money and have their comments displayed based on the amount of bits donated. Do you mind are you able to kind of go over a little bit on how bits work exactly?
I'm
you
not
can
sure.
Say no.
I really don't know. Bits are really confusing to me as just a regular user of Twitch. I mean, I get it that bits are like essentially currency, and you can get them from watching ads or something like that. I don't know. I don't know if they took that out, but I know that was a thing at one point where you could voluntarily watch some Twitch ad and you get like 5 bits for it or something, and you could save that up and then throw them at people.
Give me the bits. And how much money spent on bits do you actually see when they're donated to your channel?
The bits that I see are essentially what I get. Like, I think the skim off the top that Twitch takes happens when they actually purchase the bits, I believe.
Okay.
So if a bit is essentially a cent, then 1 bit is 1 cent to me.
Okay. That's awesome. So literally, yeah, I think that's right. So if a user goes in and purchases, I think like $1.10 for a certain amount of bits, I think they take like the first 10 cents initially, and then you get the $1 when they donate that many. It's a really bad way of explaining it, but yeah.
Yeah, I see. It's really confusing. I don't understand it. All I know is that once in a while, these cute little gems pop up in my chat, and I'm like, hey, thanks.
Cool.
That's
bits.
all I know.
All right. So what would you consider your favorite aspect of streaming over doing Let's Plays?
Oh, there's so many. There's so many upsides. There's a lot of downsides too in terms of regular videos. I'm not saying that it's the be all end all, but I love the social aspect and just getting to chat with people. I feel like in some ways it is a huge upside, and also it's also a bit stressful because I have to really invest my attention and be on top of multiple things at once. So it is a little bit more draining than YouTube is, but I love getting to know people and seeing what everyone's attitudes are about the games that I'm playing, the things that I'm doing, and I get to ask them questions too, and I get a lot of really interesting answers a lot of the time. Another thing is that it gives me a chance to play games that I normally would not be able to play, like indie games and games that I normally wouldn't show on my channel.
Gotta clear that backlog somehow.
Yeah, exactly. It gives me a way to constructively play all of these games that I haven't gotten around to.
Yeah, absolutely. That was actually one of the, speaking from personal experience, I guess, like, my motivation behind streaming is literally to clear my backlog. If there's like a game that I've never beaten, I'm just like, I just want to clear this game. Like, I've never played it before. I don't have to pretend that I'm good at it. I can like go through and just kind of clear it. If you set a schedule for yourself, then it gets done eventually.
Schedule? What's that?
Anyway, are there any important tips that you have for anyone that might try streaming for the first time?
Try not to be too intimidated. Just plug it in, get your equipment straightened out, figure out what it is that you can afford and what it is that you want to do, and go for it. Be yourself, have a good time. Initially, it might be beneficial to be a little bit consistent with your schedule. I say this after having said I have no consistent schedule, but
screw consistency. Do as I say, not as I do.
No, for real though. Just play games that you like, have fun with it, and the rest will come.
Okay. So that's it out of all the brand new questions that I just decided to spring on you at the last second.
Hey, you went well.
Yeah, you really, you cleared it with aplomb, if that's a word people like to use. But we will end tonight with that question.
Okay.
So on our next episode, assuming the second coming of Christ goes well, we will go into how to do Let's Plays. So
all right.
Just kind of get into more of the back end of content creation. So we will see
the not fun stuff.
The not fun. Absolutely. The underrated,
headache.
underappreciated. Anyway, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.